And welcome to the Lowell Planning Board September 4th, 2008 Planning Board meeting. Before we start the meeting tonight, I'd like to take a moment of silence for Andy St. Onge, who passed away just last week, who was the special events coordinator for the city of Lowell, did a lot of good work for the city of Lowell, and if we could just take a moment of silence on his behalf. Thank you. Moving along on the agenda tonight, we do have a light agenda. We don't have any minutes to approve at this point in time. We have no public hearings. And under new business, we have nothing on the new business agenda. On old business, we do have two matters. One of them is the Hickory Hill subdivision, performance bond. The Lowell Planning Board will address the remaining $2,000 held under a tri-party agreement at the performance bond for the subdivision known as Hickory Hills Estate Development by Applewood Construction Company. The board will decide whether or not to act on the bond to secure funds in order to complete sidewalk repairs located on Freedom Way. May we hear the case for the applicant, please?
Good evening. My name is Walter Erickson from Applewood Construction. I apologize to the board and the staff for taking your time on this matter. We have a small repair in a 3-foot section of sidewalk where a gate valve had a depression, and we tried to fix it with some infrared methods, and the town engineer, we're not satisfied with it, so we have to cut out a 3-foot by 4-foot section of sidewalk and replace it with new hot top. Because it's a small job, I've had a hard time getting my regular hot top guys out there, but if you would give me one more month, I'll make sure that it's taken care of correctly.
Okay, thank you, sir. Any of the board members have any question for the applicant? Any question for continuous 1 more month to see if he complete the work performance bond?
I make that motion, Mr. Chairman, to continue it for a month.
I'll second the motion.
Motion's made and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Chair votes yes. Do you have, Alan, with your first meeting in October? Okay, so we'll have a date certain for you.
The first meeting, I think, is the 6th,
Okay.
October 6th.
Yeah, it'll be the first Monday in October, okay?
Okay.
So if you have that work done by then, we'll consider it at that point in time. So we'll continue to that date to see how you're doing with your work release.
All right, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Good luck. So that matters continue to the first meeting in October. Our next matter on the agenda is 318 Bridge Street. This is the CVS. This is the review for the proposed signage. In accordance with the conditions placed on the site plan approval for the above listed project, the planning board will review in the proposed sign plan for the applicant of CVS currently under construction at the corner of Bridge Street and the VFW Highway. The plan includes a design, size, and location of signage proposal on the CVS building, a 20-foot by 12-foot wide pylon sign located at the corner of Bridge Street and the VFW, and 4 signs provided direction for vehicular circulation onto the site throughout. We've been informed that the applicant has requested that we continue this for 1 month due to the fact that they could sit down and speak with Division of Plan and Development, go through a sign planner, as well as touch base with the historic board. Therefore, they requested that this matter be continued 1 further month to first scheduled meeting in October. Any board members have any comment on the request for continuance?
Excuse me, Chairman, I think when I spoke with Mr. Flood earlier today, he was going to hope to have a plan before the board for the 18th.
Oh, 2 weeks.
So,
okay.
yeah, he was hoping to move
Okay.
quickly
Okay.
on this.
I was in the impression he meant the 1 month. All right, so they're requesting a 2-week date, okay. 2-week date, and our next scheduled meeting is 2 weeks from tonight, so therefore the request would be to be put it on for September 18th.
It appears, Mr. Chairman, nobody's here to speak in favor or in opposition to this matter this evening, so I'd make that motion to continue it for 2 weeks to September 18th.
I'll second the motion.
Motion is made and second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Chair votes yes. That matter is continued to September 18th as well. Moving along under we have other old businesses. We have some notices from budding towns, what's going on in other city areas. If you have no comment, request place those on file.
Mr. Chair, I want to make a motion to place the notices from abutting towns on file.
Motion's made
I'll second that, Mr.
Second,
Chairman.
all in favor, say aye. Chair votes yes. We do have a report in our file for approval not required plan. That matter is just correspondence to the board members. We don't need any action on that matter. Moving along, we have two matters that are going to go before the zoning board of appeals. These matters come before us for recommendation only, and these two matters will be appearing before the zoning board of appeals. The first matter is by Joseph Morales and Brenda Santos. This is on 9 Bayberry Drive. This is a traditional single-family zone. This is to construct a deck with insufficient rear yard setback according to Article 5, Section 5.1, Table of Dimensional Requirement. We do have a copy of the plan. As indicated, these matters will be on for public hearing before the Zoning Board of Appeals on September 8th, which is this coming Monday. Kind of a different shaped lot, kind of like I'm pointing to the rear.
Right, it's not a conventional rear yard, rather it comes off a cul-de-sac off of Bayberry with driveway access, so what you'd normally think is a side yard is actually the rear yard here, and it looks to me like the proposed deck is not any further encroaching than the existing pool and deck now, which comes to a point. So I don't think I'd have any particular issue with that.
Any other board members, any further comment?
I agree.
Yeah, I agree with my colleagues on that as well.
I agree as well. So we want to make that in the form of a motion and recommend approval.
I'll make that motion, Mr. Chairman.
Motion made in approval.
I'll second that, Mr.
Motion
Chairman.
made in second. All members in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Chair votes yes. Anybody against? Hearing none. That matter carries. The next matter is for Broadway Street. This is Broadway Street Holding LLC. Property is located at 688 Broadway Street. And this is to substitute an existing non-conforming use of cutting, shaping, and sale of granite materials according to section 4.5.2 of the zoning ordinance. So this is a matter that they're going to want to change, which was previously a towing and storage automobile repair, sales, and auto body shop, into a matter that will shape and cut granite materials and countertops. There's some pictures in the handout as well as some other materials that were submitted by the applicant. So it's basically to change the usage what's there now.
You didn't get color like me?
So it's basically for the use change.
Yeah.
Any of the board members have any comments or concerns?
Mr. Chairman, if I look at the relief that's sought, it says change in use sought shall be significantly less detrimental than existing non-conforming use to the neighborhood. This is also true as it relates to the adjacent properties and their respective uses. When you look at the former use, there was, I think, it was more conducive to vehicular traffic, and obviously at the hearing we'll get into the actual operations, but it appears that it is a business use in there, and I think this would be actually have a less of an impact to the surrounding neighborhood. It would appear as what's presented here. I believe it was a towing company before, and trucks going in and out.
I agree, and the nature of the space fits the usage here.
I'm presuming all of the cutting, et cetera, will take place inside the building, and they may just use the
During normal-
outside for the storage.
Yep, during normal business hours, and,
Yeah.
yep.
Sure.
So do we want to make a recommendation in favor of this matter?
I would make a motion that we recommend that this change be adopted.
Motion's made.
Second that, Mr. Chairman.
Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Chair votes yes. Anybody vote against? Hearing none, that matter carries 4 in favor. And that completes our recommendation to the zoning board of appeals. Moving along on the agenda, we just have any general correspondences. Only correspondence I had was, I indicated to Aaron, and I had him put in everybody's packet tonight, as passed out now, is what's known as our planning board bylaws. Under our bylaws, it recommends that we have calls it our annual meeting, being a meeting in September, which could either be considered the first meeting, or just as the meeting in September, and at that meeting that we should hold our election of officers. So that means we can either go forward tonight, or we can put off our next meeting in September. I did have Aaron just give us a copy of our bylaws. I know some of the board members have my note. I had a copy. I couldn't find it the other day, and I was looking for it quickly, so I just thought I'd update the board members by giving them the copy. And it mentions that we should elect officers, which is basically a chairman, a vice chairperson, and a second vice chairperson. So we can either go forward with those elections tonight, or we can continue to 2 weeks from tonight, whatever the request of the board is.
Yeah, I'd suggest, Mr. Chairman, we hold off for 2 weeks, so Mr. Gendron can be here for the elections.
The full
Okay.
board.
So, for that matter then, what we'll do is, we'll just put on the agenda for the next meeting that we'll have our election of officers. Okay? Everybody has a copy of the planning board bylaws. Having said that, I have no further comments. Any other board members have any further comments?
Have none?
If not, that completes our agenda. Entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Excuse me, I have just a couple things I wouldn't mind touching on here. The first one's real simple. The Green Building Commission has been working with the newly formed Lowell Film Collaborative to stage a screening of a documentary that shows the construction of the first fully residential green building in Boston, to follow with a symposium from people from that building, which is the McCallum Building in Boston, Novus Engineering, and Trinity Financial as well, to do just kind of question and answer, to talk about the process of building to the LEED standard. Given that the board just passed that we update the application process to include a checklist, this might be a good item for developers and contractors in the city to go to and get a feel for what the LEED checklist is about. And my understanding, I actually haven't seen this documentary yet, but my understanding it's very nuts and bolts. It's not at the 30,000 foot level. It's very how to construct these buildings. So I just wanted to pass out this to you guys. The filming of this is going to be October 21st, starting at 6:30 with refreshments. Then the panel discussion starts at 8:15, and this will be at the Lowell National Historic Park Visitor Center. Thanks. I'm also going to try to distribute that to a lot of the developers and the development community that we work with, but the board may wish to show up to that. It seems kind of like an interesting project and a good opportunity to really ask some tough questions, I guess. The other item, you guys might recall, we talked about 6 months ago about a fair housing discussion, having someone come in and do a presentation. Now that we've had some meetings that are a little slow, they were thinking we could maybe do one the 18th or maybe the 6th meeting where we have 1 or 2 items on the agenda, do about a 45-minute presentation on fair housing. I don't know if that's something that we could add to the agenda coming up. If you like, too, I can get some more information, kind of exactly what their agenda would be and what's part of the presentation, if you like. But it might be something to think about for the 18th or the 6th. So right now, both of those meetings are pretty light.
Yeah, I mean, if we can put on a meeting that we know it's going to be lightly fair to them to come in instead of doing a public hearing and making them wait through public hearings. So.
Right.
And I have no objection to either one of the nights, depending on what the board members I have, but, and whatever their schedule would be.
I think they're pretty ready. It's a presentation that they do frequently. I think they may just update a few things to be more specific to Lowell, but I think when I was speaking with Allison, who works in our community development department, she is more directly working with it's the Fair Housing Center of Greater Boston. but apparently they can get it ready pretty quickly. So if we want to do it the 18th or the 6th,
Yeah, whatever's convenient for them, I have no objections either way,
Okay.
whether they'd rather be here on a Monday or Thursday night, we give them their option. And see what night they're more, more flexible to be here at, I mean,
okay.
but at least, as you're indicating, both those nights seem to be light on the agenda.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay, so we'll put on that way if we have a public hearing, but you'd know by the 18th now, because that deadline's already passed, right?
yeah, right. The only thing that we're going to have is the CVS,
Which is continuation,
which was
right?
continued from tonight. There was no public hearing scheduled
Right.
for that.
So-
I'm expecting to get an application tomorrow for the October 6th meeting. It'll be I think it's going to be a parking lot.
Okay.
But that's the only thing on the 6th right now, so.
And the other thing is, if they do want to come in on this, say if they do the 6th, we have a public hearing first, you can just tell them to come in a little bit after 7, let's take care of some other business, so don't have to wait through it.
Right.
Looking at the agenda, I've been more than happy to talk to you and say, we'll give them because usually even if we go through the zoning board of appeals, general correspondences, and public hearing, and take up almost an hour, they can come in a little later in the night instead of waiting through the first. But whichever, if they want to come in on the Thursday, that's fine too.
Okay, great. So
Okay.
I'll set that up and give you a
Okay.
heads up before that's
Sure.
on the
Okay.
agenda. That's it for me.
Any further comments? If not, as indicated, motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Made and second. All in favor, say aye. Chair votes yes. Good night, and thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you.